What's happening, y'all? This is Andrew from Mirror Music. I've been looking forward to this moment all day, man. It is right now 7 minutes past 9 o'clock in the evening. This is my first listen to any of the Magic 3 songs that were released, less than 10 minutes ago. We are celebrating Nas's 50th birthday. We're celebrating the release of Magic 3. We've been doing that all day with video drops and analyses and stuff like that. This is going to be a more pure reaction video because I've never heard this, obviously, before. So I'll just tell you what I hear. For those of you who don't know me and don't know this channel very well, I'm not a hip-hop expert at all. Coop and I are really close friends. We have been since we were 15 years old. And we do a podcast where we compare non-hip-hop songs to hip-hop songs. That's not the point tonight. I just want you to know who I am and why I'm here. This song is called Fever. Let's get into it. So excited. Okay, before he even says one word, that sounds like there's no way, I don't think. I mean, I guess he can afford whatever he wants to, but it sounds like a Beatles sample. It sounds like that kind of style. And it also sounds, I don't know if you listened to this the first time on headphones or not, but it sounded like it was fading in from one channel to the other. Most songs nowadays play in stereo, which is like equal music and equal tracks split through both speakers, right? But this one has something on one side and it was fading to the other and to the other. It's an interesting way to begin. I do also want to say, before we get into it too much, that both of the other Magic first songs, Speechless and Abracadabra, to my English teacher brain anyway, were like thesis statements. They were like statements of intent for what he intended to do for the rest of the album. Speechless, I'm going to leave you speechless. Abracadabra, show you like at what level of magic I'm working at, right? So it'll be interesting. Fever doesn't immediately call to mind any kind of thesis statement. So let's pay attention to that as we go too. It's kind of fading and melting a little bit. Almost like a hallucination, which goes with fever, I guess, right?
Early on the wake up, cunning as the father of the 12 sons of Jacob. Shake up the world, cake crumbs, cover my goatee, cuff leaks, waiters, lobster sauce on aprons, pardon as the chef, burgundy on the breath, uncertainty.
Again, I've said this in other videos too, but I love before the it's not a cappella because there is music in the background, but I love the kind of lead in that he does before the beat drops in, right? And he's talking about gold cufflinks, I think, right? Did I hear that right? And lobster and that kind of thing too. So he's talking about rich stuff, which is appropriate in this context.
When I step, dancing in every song like it's a contest, singing this
Step in every song like it's a contest.
Celebrating years of flows and crazy wordplay.
Oh, dude, this is like him telling happy birthday to himself. He must have known when he wrote this song that they were going to release it on his birthday. Let's go back and listen to that again. You're supposed to rewind when I do that, idiot.
Up the world, cake crumbs,
Listen.
cover my goatee, cuff leaks, waiters, lobster sauce on aprons, pardon as the chef, burgundy on the breath, uncertainty.
Burgundy on the breath is wine, right?
Every song like it's a contest, singing the Stevie Wonder happy birthday,
Stevie Wonder's happy birthday.
Crazy wordplay. Season, I'm leaving my 40s, I'm a griot, deep as Deepak Chopra, dress out.
I'm a griot deep as Deepak Chopra. Like, oh man. And he is a griot. Like, I assume most of you watching this channel know what a griot is, but like, it's a storyteller, right? It's a person who not only is a storyteller, it's a person who historically, I think in African communities particularly, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but is the keeper of the stories, right? Is the person who is in charge of memorizing the stories and telling them to the next generation, which is exactly what this dude is doing. Both on this album, seems like, or in the song, and in the Magic Run.
Family only, I'm holding hands with a cold piece. By to the old me, I'm officially OG. Might throw a roast me, wonder what will the jokes be. Watching them imitate my cool demeanor. It's a new decade, I'm in a whole new arena. Roll the dice in this life and I hit
Coop was talking earlier today I think it was when we did the New York State of Mind one about rolling the dice and being a motif that follows itself all the way through Nas's catalog, and here it is again.
Get it? Wolf out of NYC. This is prophecy. No, this was meant to be. Evolve constantly. Half a century. Put your glasses up. Represent for me. Represent for me.
That's a different beat. This is absolutely a birthday song. God, this makes me so happy.
Represent for me. Fly from infancy to half a century. Represent. Crying faces for the double agents. Watching my every move. Go tell them I can't sit still. I never do. Let them.
I mean, For Real has never sat still. I mean, or hasn't in the last 3 years anyway. It's one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And this song has forward momentum too. But it's not a Stevie Wonder sample, I don't think. But it does have that sense of joy to it. It feels joyful in a way that I don't say that his songs don't usually, but like that's not when I think of Nas's music, or at least what I understand about it from doing these reaction videos to the Magic series. Joy is not usually the first word I think of. Poetic, mastermind, or lyrical, or wise, or prophet. I mean, those kind of things I do think of. But this song feels like joyful in a way, which he's celebrating himself, which he damn well should.
Think of all the places I led them, but look at it through it all.
Oh, there's the prophet too, the places I led him. He said something, I'm not going to go back and listen to it again, but he says something at the beginning too about being a prophet. Like, hold on, I'm gonna have to go back and look. This is at 1:34. I'm gonna have to jump. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is what you get for me not having listened to this ever again. Ever before. Sorry, not ever again.
Early on the wake up, cunning as the father of the 12 sons of Jacob.
The 12 Sons of Jacob, yeah. So it's another one of those references to being a prophet and leading people forward. So here we go. This is picking it up where we dropped it.
Ever a better move. Who they claim to be today, man, they can never choose. We all got a set of tools we gotta use to push through. Like I did in Esco, it's my nom de plume. Party in the penthouse live, it all look.
So Esco is his nom de plume. His nom de plume, obviously, his pen name, is the name that he wrote under. And so it's another persona of his, right? And the one that's partying in the penthouse, so to speak.
Boom, with beautiful vibes, that's the way to calm the goons. Champagne flutes, my cigars pop balloons. Bow ties get up tied when the clock hit 2. A 73 baby, I say a speech maybe. Besides the Littles and Joneses, hip hop made me. Born in New York, I hope.
Oh, besides Littles? Is that I guess that's his family name, Littles and Joneses. It would be his parents' surnames. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong about that too. Man, besides the Littles and Joneses, it was hip hop that made me. Like, that is reflexively one of those bars that's going to be quoted, I think. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but that's one that feels like it's going to jump out to a lot of people. Besides the Littles and Joneses, it was hip hop that made me. Not in the least because it's stuck in my head after listening to it once. And if you've watched enough of these videos, you know I don't remember these lyrics very well at all when I'm just listening to it the first time. So that one stuck.
The most high keeps you. I wish at least 50 on all my good people. Fever. Wolf out of NYC. This is prophecy. No, this was meant to be. Evolve constantly. Half a century. Put your glasses up. Represent for me. Represent for me. Represent for me. Fly from infancy to half a century. Represent.
That's mirroring the melody from the beginning too, isn't it? All right. So, yeah, again, like I said at the beginning of this, the first songs off both of the previous Magic projects, Speechless, and I mean there's an intro before Abracadabra, but Abracadabra is like the first full rapped out song, um, are both thesis statements. They're both statements of intent for Nas, like what he intends to do in his both in his life and in that project, in that album. In Speechless, he says, "I'm going to leave you speechless." Like he's going to leave them speechless. He's going to do things, i.e., doing things that nobody else has ever done before and could ever do again. Right? In Abracadabra, he is essentially elucidating, pulling, like teasing out the metaphors around magic tricks. Like he's going to do again something that nobody else um, can could ever do before. This one, it's a party song, right? And it's not a party song like, I mean, though you could play it in the club, it's not a party song like you think of as like a club banger, really, in that kind of sense. Um, but it is a party song in that he's celebrating himself. This is it's more retrospective, I feel, right? It's it's talking about what's going forward, but also celebrating what has already been. And that's the thing that you would do at a major birthday. It's the thing that you do when you turn 40. It's the thing I assume when you do when you turn 50, as he has today. So happy birthday, man. I don't know whether you're listening to this. It's probably incredibly arrogant to think that you're listening to this, but if you do, happy birthday. Hope it's magical and amazing, and hope it's everything that you dreamed it could be. But this song is a great shot of adrenaline, I guess, for the beginning of this project. It's like I said before, it's a joyful thing. It feels celebratory. It feels uplifting. It feels like, look at me, here we go. And, again, I have not listened to this song before, which is why I had to rewind it a whole bunch of times during this video. And I've not listened to any of the rest of the album. I'm going to go do that now. But yeah, I can't wait to hear the rest of it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's helpful. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts about this later, but um, God, this is going to be a good one. You can tell already. So take care, y'all. I'll see you next time.